Well, hello everyone, Eldrick here, and welcome to another HellSign video. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the skills that I used in some of my character playthroughs of the game so far. And again, it is in early access, and we only have Chapter 1 available. So we don't have all of the skills available at this point in time, but the ones that we do have available, I'm going to run through those. The ones that I've had experience with and so forth, and I've been fairly successful with them. So maybe it's just you can treat this video with a grain of salt and maybe take some advice or some tips and hints from it or whatever. But anyway, we're going to look at our character here, Kenny Rogers. We've completed the game with him, and we've also completed the game with Pistol Only Dude. I'm almost close to being finished with the game for a third time with our ninja character named Ninja, and I'm still at the beginning stages here with our archaeologist character. So let's load up Kenny Rogers here and go through his skill tree. Now Kenny Rogers started out as the Renegade class, and the Renegade class starts out with the throwable skill and the sleight of hand skill. Now, while the sleight of hand skill may seem fairly useless, it does give you a point closer to getting this handy skill right here, counterfeit. Now it gives a 25% chance to sell a counterfeit sign to Redback at the bar, and you get to keep the original. Now what that means is, let's say you go into we'll take a hunting mission for example, where you can get some fairly valuable signs and clues that can range anywhere from $500 to $700. Okay, so you go to the bar after the mission and you sell him a $700 sign, and there will be a little notice and a sound cue when you sell him a particular clue, or whatever clue it is that or sign that you're selling him, and it'll say counterfeit. And so you can resell it to him again, and if it does it again, you can keep reselling it back to him and keep gaining more money and more money. So that skill right there, I think it can sometimes go unnoticed because there's so many other handy skills that people can get and more useful skills, but I've found that this skill here, you can get quite a bit of profit off of this little baby right here. And we'll go back into that skill when I go into our ninja character's skill tree. I actually unlearned the throwable skill on this character, and I put it in another skill just because I haven't really played around with any of the dynamite or the grenades or anything like that personally. Okay, so I think most of the characters start off with basic gadgets. Audiophile and keen sight are very useful. These are going to give your equipment items like your EMF detector and black light and the parabolic mic and the thermal detector extended range. A 25% increase in range, as a matter of fact. But the main thing that these two skills are going to give that are very, very useful is that they're going to give you an advantage to the enemies and sometimes the boss. And I think keen sight actually gives you the advantage to the boss, if I'm not mistaken. So those two are very good. These three here, parazoology, pathology, and forensics, I don't really have much to say about them other than get them, because when you click on your Cryptonomicron and you go to start placing your signs and your clues into those slots, you're going to be able to open up that tree, and I think there's 4 of them, because the first one is going to be your unleash, your second is your identifying the poltergeist, the third is just a normal clue in the Cryptonomicron, and the 4th is the same as well. So the further that you can extend that tree in your Cryptonomicron when you're doing all these deductions and you're getting into the late game with facing these poltergeist bosses, that's going to increase your advantages that you're going to be getting from these 2 skills here. And getting those advantages may mean life or death, more or less. This skill here, I would recommend getting if you are also wanting to increase the amount of value that you get out of finding your signs and clues. And I've done that skill, and I actually unlearned it on this character because I didn't need it anymore, because I figured over 100 grand right now, I can just go back in and just start fighting poltergeist again or whatever. I don't really need this skill right now. So that's why that one's unlearned. Handguns, we'll go into this one later when we go into our pistol only dude character skill tree. SMGs and sawed-offs and marksmanship I would recommend getting, because this is going to cut down, this particular skill here is going to cut down on that reload time that you may be having with your submachine guns or your shotguns. And this one here allows you to equip attachments to those guns, and those can give you buffs to your weapon, like increased reload speed. I think the iron sighted gives a plus 30% to reload speed, and like a -10, -15% to accuracy. The laser sight, I believe, gives a plus 9% critical damage chance to enemies. I don't really remember what the other ones are, but it's useful. First aid. When you start getting into the game, I would say around the time that you start facing the ghouls, maybe after the ghouls, and especially the late game, you're going to want this, because not only is it going to give you an increase to your maximum overall health, but it's also going to allow you to use healing items other than your stim packs. And honestly, you don't want to use your stim packs when you're going through a house initially, especially if you're planning to face a poltergeist boss. Heavy armor. I'm still kind of on the fence with this. I've been using it personally, mainly because I've taken less damage with it, and the dodging decrease or penalty that I've gained or having to deal with that skill, I have counteracted it with, let me show you here, the ninja boots right here, because that dodge window and the dodge speed kind of helps counteract the dodge window and the dodge speed of the heavy armor. And this is the heaviest armor that you can obtain right now in this particular stage of the game. Let's go back to our skills. Paranormal peripherals. These 2 skills here, this one here is going to give you access to use items such as this, safety goggles, whiskey bottles, any of this stuff down here on this bottom row. So it's going to give you different various boosts to your stats and whatnot, so those can come in handy. But this particular skill right here costs 2 skill points, and that's the only one that I've found so far that costs that amount. But it's also useful. And I think this is the only character that I actually have this particular skill on as well. Alright, so to be able to use the ninja stuff to counteract our heavy armor, I put a point in ninjutsu, and then it'll help increase our dodge speed and stuff like that, so we're not sitting at like a 50 or like 60% mobility as opposed to like an 80 or 100 mobility. Countermeasures, Trapper. These three right here are quite important when facing the poltergeist. Electricity is going to allow you to use like the electrical boxes at the houses. And chemistry is going to allow you to use like the propane and butane tanks at the house as well, especially when you're facing like the Kelpie poltergeist. Alright, so let's back on up out of here. And we're gonna go to our other characters. We're gonna go to pistol only dude. And actually beat chapter 1 just using pistols only. And I found that the Italian Special is honestly my favorite handgun so far in the game, because not only is it fast, but it reloads fairly quickly as well. Alright, let's go to our skills in this character. It's about the same type of setup, but let's go into the handgun tree here. Heavy hitter. I started out as a mercenary, and I believe that skill was already unlocked because I wanted to start out with doing the entire playthrough with pistols only, so of course I picked this character. Extra punch gives a 10% damage increase to pistols. It's fairly useful, I guess. Just because I figured that dodging would have been more important on this character, I went with that. And I almost kind of regret not placing my skills into this right here, because I think I would have been able to take down a Banshee or a Shadow a lot easier, which I still haven't taken those two down with this character. Mainly, I've only fought the Kelpie twice and managed to beat this chapter with this character. But I think if I would have invested in this skill here, I would have been able to have a little bit more luck with those other poltergeists. Same basic skill tree lineup here as our other character. Okay, let's check out our new guy here, our ninja class. Okay, so I've got these two skills here, audiophile and keen sight. I have these three here learned, SMG and the marksmanship. Basically the same stuff. Now I will say, we go back out here, and I'm going to show you how useful that counterfeit skill is. If we look at a ninja named Ninja here, and he's our fourth character that we've played in this game. He's already level 14. He has almost 14.5k. And I've only played it a little less than 5 hours already. And basically I'm at the point on this character to where I just need to kill 2 poltergeists and I'm done with the chapter, more or less. So it's been fairly quick, and a lot of that has just been thankful due to this skill right here, which I've already unlearned because I don't really need the money right now anymore, because I already have the equipment that I need to be able to take down our first poltergeist. And after I nab the reward off of that, I'm going to be able to purchase the next upgrade for our SMG. So anyhow, I hope this video somewhat helped. If it did, just leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you guys next time for some more HellSign. Until then, take care, please be safe, keep gaming, and happy holidays. Bye bye.